What's up, traders? Sandro O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is November 3rd, 2021. Please go ahead, click the like button on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying these videos. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate all the new members coming into the Pristine Capital trading community. It is so awesome. We are just a group of traders working together to compound capital. That's our main goal. And we all want to get to our financial goals faster. My thesis around this whole trading community is, I think if we get a bunch of good traders together, that are collaborating, sharing ideas, working with each other, I think we're all going to get better results over time. Sorry I could not make yesterday's video. I was in New York. My mom is actually having a surgery next week, so I went to go see her and kind of get prepared for the surgery and all that stuff. So yeah, last 2 days, honestly, they've been such a whirlwind. I'm glad that I was away from the desk the last 2 days because, yeah, today was FOMC and I really don't like trading ahead of FOMC anyway. So it actually worked out pretty well. Let's dive into the video. I'm going to try to keep it nice and short and sweet because I'm literally just going to go to sleep right after this video. I want to be nice and refreshed for tomorrow's session and just ready to go. But what's funny is I feel horrible today, and today was actually, one of my better trading days this year. A lot of things really worked for me, and they were just positions I was already holding. Okay, headline indices, we had the S&P 500 closing up 0.61%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ finishing up 1.06%. We had the IWM small caps. They were our big winner for today, closing up 1.79%. And if you've been in the community with me, or if you've just been watching these videos, I've been waiting for this small caps breakout for I want to say a good month now, every day, just it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So yeah, today we actually got the breakouts. That was definitely a good feeling. I took some targets on those trades just because I was like, this is such a great feeling. Sometimes when you just get that feeling mission accomplished, it's just take a target, because yeah, if it goes up, you're still gonna have that euphoric feeling. But it's nothing beats that first all right, the trade worked. But then if the trade goes down, you'll lose that euphoric feeling, and that loss of euphoria is the worst feeling. So I always just take a target whenever I feel wow, I'm so happy, I'm so grateful that this happened. And then we have the Dow Jones closing up 0.27%. Volatility took a dive on all the indices. So yeah, huge dive for the S&P 500. We can actually take a look at the VIX today. And then really solid breadth for all of the indices. So we had 81% advancers for small caps, and we had 68% advancers for the SPY. So overall, yeah, market really just cruised into Fed Wednesday. And even after Fed Wednesday, the market still looks very strong. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Now we are just in rarefied air. No, not really. I mean, this definitely is of course, we've been seeing the markets extended for quite some time. But we're just riding this 5-day EMA higher, and that's what happens when the market starts to trend. I'm primarily a trend trader. I use this trend signal right here. Right now my trend model is at a +3, and that basically means, I can't be net short the market. I have to be aggressive. For me, what I used to do is I would go off of feel. I'll be oh, market feels too high right now, or whatever. And be okay, I'll go short, or market way too low, I'm gonna go long, that sort of thing. So using this trend model really just helps keep me on the right side of the market, keeps my emotions in check. The DIX, which is another thing I track very closely, yesterday came in at a 46%. We'll have to see what it comes out to today, but yeah, that's a very bullish signal. And then seasonality, check this out. So for seasonality, I have neutral written right here on my chart, and let's actually take a look at that. We have that in our presentation here. So seasonality, apparently we were just in the 5 strongest seasonal days of the year. And that's pretty much right as you're rounding out October and you're heading into November. You can see, in the seasonality chart, the steep advance right here. Now as we look to the rest of November, we could see a lot more chop and even volatility in the market as we get towards the end of November. Of course, after that, market takes an even higher leg up. But definitely important to note, hey, we're exiting, the best 5 days of seasonality of the year. We're not entering them. But yeah, market still looks very strong. Let's go over to the small caps because that's really the main story for today. Oh my gosh, and we have to look at the weekly chart. This is huge. Weekly chart. Check it out. Boom. So look at that. We've been stuck in this range team since... Let me just turn this off here. Let me turn off this Benzinga Pro, excuse me. We've been in this range since February. It's a 9-month range, and we are finally emerging from it. So I did take some targets on my small cap exposure, but I'm still very bullish on the small caps, and I'm riding this position. This trend, it's literally day one of the breakout. So could we, start running like we did last November? This was last November, and we went, we ran into the end of the year. Could we do that this year? Absolutely. So I want to make sure I leave myself open to that possibility. The NASDAQ has also been very strong, up 1.06%. And basically the Fed was able to stick the landing today. So Jerome Powell is talking about the economy, talking about the taper. And everyone already knew that the taper was going to be announced. Today he made it official. And yeah, market just had no issues with it. So we see the VIX coming down significantly. Let's take a look at the VIX. Yeah, look at that. It's basically come back into the range where if you do want to hedge your positions, this has been like the ideal level of the VIX to do that for the past couple months. So that's actually going to be interesting for tomorrow. If the VIX opens lower tomorrow, I may end up putting a little sum on in the way of a hedge. All right, let's dive under the hood. We'll take a look at some of these individual names as well. So Finviz heat map, we can see Tesla still on a tear, Amazon, Google, Facebook. We have Netflix still looking strong. So you can really see there's a lot of flows coming into these mega cap tech names. Of course, a month and a half ago, the narrative was interest rates are rising. You'll get killed in those bond proxies. Now it's a little bit different. I think it's like, we're probably going to have slower growth moving forward. So jump back into these names. Yeah, overall market looked very strong today. Sectors, we have our blockchain assets at the top of our momentum list. We have 10 solar energy ETF in second place, and then we actually have ARCQ in third place. It's very interesting. This is never at the top of the leaderboard. Also, semiconductors, one of our members in the Pristine Capital trading group, he had a really nice trade in the semi, so shout out to him. That was really awesome. And then at the bottom of our list, we have cannabis stocks, which just cannot get off the mat, down 1.38%. But overall, yeah, we're seeing nice moves. Consumer discretionary was up 1.8%. Even this ARCG was up. Regional banks, this was another one that one of our members pointed out. Regional banks, look at this, up 2.75%, looking very strong. And that's actually the weekly chart too, so that looks even better. Yeah, take a look at the daily. Nice breakout to higher levels, looking really good. What I'm noticing as well is some of these, cryptocurrency has obviously been in an awesome little sequence here. Let's talk about that. Yeah, Bitcoin shook out a bunch of weak hands this morning. I love that. So yeah, we're consolidating, and to me, my baseline assumption is we're consolidating and we're going to head higher. So yeah, still looking good on that front. Ethereum actually is heading higher. Ethereum already broke out. Ethereum's my largest position. Love this asset. Love this network. And, it's showing, the price action is showing. This is why it's so important to look at price action. You could be like a Bitcoin maxi and Ethereum maxi. For me, I don't really care. I like both communities, whatever. But yeah, the market is telling you Ethereum, there's much more demand than Bitcoin because Ethereum's already at new highs. So we have those blockchain assets. Let's also take a look at some of these FANG names. I want to bring these up as well because it certainly looks like, hey, the market, could be running out of steam, whatever. How much higher could it go? But I'm looking at some of these FANG stocks. Netflix, this was a name that I traded very actively all throughout this run. This was one of my better names last month. It's setting up a nice little high tight flag up here. So could it advance even further? Absolutely. Also Google. Google had a nice earnings report and it's just been consolidating. Could Google, make new highs? Yeah, I certainly think it's possible. And it's setting up a nice little technical pattern here. So definitely, as of right now, there's no sell signals in the market. The only sell signal is, hey, things are extended. And based on your process, hey, maybe that is a sell signal. All right, let's take a look at our style factors. Style factors, we had the growth style factor up 0.8%. We had cyclicals of 1.61%. That is huge. That was our big winner for today. And then let's take a look. Already touched on seasonality. We're going to look at some of my trades. I took off some really nice winners today. And this is what happens, like when the market gets really good, you can have some very nice winners. But this is my trader report card for today. And this is just an exercise that I'm doing just to, become a better trader, keep myself accountable, and, set a good example for everybody in the Pristine Capital trading community. So I'm grading myself as of right now. This is a working list. And granted, I'm never going to be able to rate myself objectively. This is all going to be subjective. Preparation on a scale of 1 to 5, I gave myself a 2. As I was saying, like I felt super off these past 2 days. I stayed up like almost all night last night. I ended up waking up late this morning. Preparation in terms of just like being ready for action in the morning was not good at all. I will say though, last night I planned out, pretty much all the trades I was going to take today. Bit Farms was my new trade. I closed out some Hut. That was all premeditated. Like I planned all that out to a T last night. So I pretty much came in knowing what I was going to do. Yeah, I woke up super late. Like it was just awful. So yeah, I gave myself a 2. Stock selection, I gave myself a 4. I think, Bit Farms, the only stock that I did take on the long side. I think this is a really good candidate. We're going to go into that stock. Then risk management, I gave myself a 4. I did have some really nice winners, and I made sure to take some profits in them and not just get, super greedy. So let's take a look here. So early in the morning, I set a limit order. I was trying to get out of a fourth of my Hut. I have a November 19th 10 by 12 call spread that I paid 72 cents for. This is one of my best trades of the year as of right now. This thing is marking at like $1.60 and change. And this is a 3-star trade for me. So these are my biggest positions. So let's take a look at that one. We have Hut. So this is my profit window on my trade, 10 by 12. So anything above a 12, all I need to do is wait around for November 19th, and I'll collect that max reward. That being said, we do have earnings coming out on November 12th for Hut. It looks like November 11th. But the caveat is, most investors, they know nothing about these mining companies. With mining companies, you can really accurately forecast what their earnings are going to be because they're just mining Bitcoin. Literally, it's a lot more predictable than somebody else that's like selling widgets. Mining Bitcoin, that's just like a process that's being run. So you could have like deviations, but it's not going to be like another company where it's like, are they going to miss earnings? Like, will people buy their product? No, it's like a lot different. So the earnings catalyst is there. And that's why I did take off a quarter of my position today. Took it off for about $1.60. Let's take a look. So I put that limit order in. I ended up closing, where was it? Hut, it was down here. Yeah, I closed out 25% of my position for $1.61. I had paid 72 cents. Yeah, the most I can make now on that trade is 39 additional cents. So I was like, let me try to reallocate this. Take the partial, reallocate it. I closed out 25% of my IWM November 19th 230 by 235 call spreads for $3.63. I paid $1.57 for those. That's an over 100% return. Again, this is one of my 3-star trades. So that is, one of my largest positions in my book. So I just want to be prudent and take some of that off. What else did I do? I closed out 20%. So I had 2 3-star positions on in these small caps. These are big trades. I closed out 20% of my IWM January 21st, 2022. 219 strike calls for almost a 100% return. Closed out for 23.25. Closed out more of my IWM call spread, so now I only have half that trade on. So yeah, I took some targets into strength. This Bit Farms, let's take a look at this. This is my new trade. I added a starter position. I got the 7.5 by 10 call spreads, and then I added to that position later in the day. Let's talk about this one. Bit Farms. So we see what happened with Hut mining, right? So this is our daily chart. Let's zoom out a little bit, and we can see on the prior highs of Bitcoin, Hut Mining traded all the way up to a high of $13.04, right? Now we're on this next leg of a bull market in the crypto markets, and Hut Mining actually broke out and is trading at new highs, right? So we have this stock doing really well, has a $2.2 billion market cap, looking solid, has been an amazing performer all year. But Bitfarms, let's take a look at Bitfarms. Bitfarms has half the market cap of Hut Mining, but it mines about the same amount of Bitcoin per quarter. Actually, even a little bit more. I was looking into the financials for both companies last night. I think Hut Mining is a better company, no doubt. But look at this. Bitfarms, in prior Bitcoin bull sequences, this one's traded all the way up to $9.97. And over here, I got all the way up to $8.51. What I'm seeing here is, hey, yesterday we had a big spike in volume. That means there's some large player that's starting to allocate to this Bitfarms. And the float on this one is pretty small. Shares float's only 46 million. This is a really tough stock if you are an institution or just even like a slightly larger player to enter into. I think whoever's doing this buying, it's going to take them a while to get that position on. So right here, look at where we are, team. We closed at 683, looking pretty good. Could we break out to new highs? It's certainly in the realm of possibility, right? That's what Hut Mining did. So I put this position on. I have the 7.5 by 10 call spreads. I got those on for 49 cents and 52 cents. This is now a 2-star position for me. And what I like about this trade is, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose 52 cents. If I'm right, I could make $2.02. So that's a really nice risk reward. That's a 4-to-1 trade. And yeah, so I really like this. That's why for stock selection, I gave myself a good grade. All right, let's dive real quick into our big tech options order flow. And yeah, in terms of the market and what it's doing, we're just going to have to take it day by day. Luckily, we have processes to take us out of the market. We have our trend model. I have my VVIX risk model as well. There's a lot of things that we have a lot of tools in our toolkit. I think it's just important to make sure you're taking at least some targets while the market is doing this, this craziness. All right, today's combined flows. We got Tesla in the lead, of course. We have GME. AMC is another position that I have on. I mentioned this in Twitter Spaces. AMC had a nice run today too. Yeah, there's too many stocks to go through, like all of them, but yeah. And this is, in our Pristine Capital afternoon webinars, I do go through all of my open positions and just, talk through all of them, what the game plan is. For this recap video, it's just kind of like the, the broad strokes, the highlights, all that good stuff. Okay, so IWM, of course, some more bullish flow coming in now that it's breaking out. Wells Fargo, BKKT, this one keeps coming up. I traded this one a couple weeks ago. Let's take a look. And if you're interested in VigTech, feel free, use the discount code in the description link to this video, and you'll get a $10 per month discount on that. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have BKKT, so much flow for this one. What the heck is going on with this? Okay, it's pulling back in. Yeah, this stock, somebody's going to lose their shirt on this thing. Once this small cap speculation ends, this one will probably have a retracement back to like 20 bucks. This company's not that good. I went through their investor deck. It might become really good over time, but yeah, to quadruple very quickly like that, that was kind of odd. IWM, just as many puts coming in as calls. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, that's about it. I think that's a good spot to leave off on. One thing I also want to talk about. VigTech, it's pretty cool. They do all these like games now. And right now I'm actually competing in one of the games. The cost to enter is free. Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, my Fantasy Stock Kickoff Classic. Look at this. I'm in 3rd place out of 82 entrants. If I finish in 3rd place, it ends on the 5th. I get 300 bucks. Yeah, so I got 2 people beating me. Look at that. I got these two guys, TD Swim and Caleb Not a Virgin. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's just kind of some fun. That being said, that about does it for this recap video. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep right now.